What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the video. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Today I'm back at Route 23 Honda and we're taking a close look at the 2023 Honda Civic Hatchback in the EX-L trim. Now, I know that this generation Civic has already been out for 2 years, but since it's my first time doing a review on it, I'm still going to make some comparisons to the outgoing 10th gen. And these opinions are coming from someone who owns the sedan version of that previous Civic. The front end is very minimal and toned down. The last generation was pretty polarizing. A lot of people loved it, a lot of people hated it with a passion. I think Honda was able to find a pretty good balance to try to please as many people as they can. But of course, you can't please everybody. As an 18-year-old, I was very drawn to the more radical design of the last generation Civic when I bought it. With that said though, I still think this is an attractive design that will appeal to a lot of people. On this grille, they got rid of that separate chrome piece and made it into one piece with the hood, though the shape is still similar. And on this new Civic, the only way to tell the difference between the hatch and the sedan from the front is by this hexagon cutout pattern. On the sedan, it's just a continuation of the solid body color sloping down from the hood. Dropping down below, there's a much larger opening that also has a variation of that hexagon pattern inside. It has a flat black border and allows lots of airflow into the engine. At the very bottom is flat black trim that extends to the edges and then slopes upward around the would-be fog light housings. So as you can see, there's a space here for fog lights, but there are none. I think they could have done a better job of covering that up or changing the trim piece. So you do have to get the Sport Touring to get the fog lights. The full LED headlights match the rest of the Honda lineup. There's 3 sections of the housing. The 2 outer bulbs serve as the low beam and the middle is your high beam. The insides of the housings are blacked out, giving it a very modern appearance. The daytime running lights are sharp looking, running across the top edge, and the turn signal is tucked right underneath. The side profile of the car is also toned down quite considerably. All the flowy sharp creases are gone, and instead is just this one strong line coming from the front fender and running straight back into the taillight. Another line runs parallel at the bottom, and there's a tiny little sill extension sticking out. There's one chrome strip that runs along the top of the windows. And the overall shape is very reminiscent of the outgoing sedan that had this fastback sloping roofline that made it look like a hatch. The new sedan has proportions more like a traditional sedan. Taking a look at the wheels, this is a 17-inch two-toned alloy wheel with 10 spokes. The outside face is a machined alloy and there's gloss black inserts inside. The tires this is riding on are 215/50 Continental Pro Contact all-season tires. Turning to the rear, this is such a relief to see because I strongly disliked the rear end of the hatch from the last generation. It was shaped weird and had all these random spoilers and shit, but this looks so clean, but not boring. The taillights on the new sedan are a little bit forgettable, but I think I take liking to these because in a way they still maintain that curved design at the edges like on my Civic. The biggest difference though is that now the 2 LED taillights are connected across the middle, and this middle section serves as the third brake light. The turn signals, however, are still old school incandescent bulbs. But they did add a smoked tint over it that makes it look better, along with this striped design inside. The bumper has 2 integrated reflectors, and at the bottom is a flat black finish. There is no visible exhaust, and the rear wiper has a washer built into it. Opening up the rear hatch, there's 25.7 cubic feet of cargo space. This one has a retractable cargo cover, and back here you'll also find a small light and a spare tire with a jack set down below. You now have 46.2 cubic feet of space, which is a lot for a car as small as this. And a quick shout out to this video sponsor, FitCam X. FitCam X is a custom hardwired 4K dash cam that is made for your specific car's interior with no exposed wires showing, and it connects to your phone via the FitCam X app. And they're offering all my viewers 10% off everything on their site using promo code OPTICAL. Link in the description. Taking a look under the hood here is a 1.5-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, putting out 180 horsepower and 177 pound-feet of torque, and that's paired with a CVT transmission. Fuel economy ratings are combined 35 miles per gallon, that's 31 in the city, 39 on the highway, and the capacity of the fuel tank is 12.4 gallons. If you're enjoying this review, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more weekly videos. Stepping inside the Civic, this is a radical departure from the interior of the outgoing car. Showing it here for reference. It was very bold and sporty and 100% aimed at younger buyers. Again, Honda has now tried to walk a neutral line where they can hopefully please as many people as possible. Now, even though this is vastly different from the one that I have, I absolutely love this new interior. It's clean, it's modern, it's uncluttered, and it's intuitive. The dashboard is simplified and uncluttered. It's covered in a soft textured plastic. Now, on the door panel, this is the thing that shocked me the most. This top part of the door panel, where many people, I guess, would rest their elbow, that surface is hard. Usually, you'll find the same material that you'll find on the dashboard up there, but for whatever reason, on this EX-L trim, it's hard plastic. Underneath, you'll find a strip of piano black trim, and the armrest and side panel just above are covered in leather. The sound of the door closing, very solid. Wouldn't expect anything less. The seats are covered in black perforated leather and are heated. The driver's seat is power adjustable, whereas the passenger seat is manual adjustment only. The steering wheel has good thickness, it's nicely bolstered, and it's trimmed in very nice leather. The buttons to the left control the audio and voice command functions, along with the scroll wheel for the left half of the gauge display, and the buttons to the right operate the cruise control and lane keep assist. The left half of the gauge cluster is a digital screen that can show your digital speedometer, range and fuel, maintenance info, warnings, and more. And on the right side is an analog gauge. In the center of this interior is this 7-inch infotainment touchscreen. I have to say it's a little surprising to see this screen on the second highest trim level. For reference, my 2016 Civic EX has the available larger screen, and it was only the second out of 5 trim levels. So on here, you have to get the fully loaded Sport Touring trim to get the upgraded 9-inch screen, which by today's standards isn't really all that impressive. And the system is relatively bare bones. The physical buttons at the bottom of the screen open up your phone log, the radio, media being whichever audio source is playing, one for either Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, and then the menu button for the car's settings. The software doesn't have a dedicated home screen or anything, it's just compartmentalized into these buttons. Dual zone climate controls are physical buttons. The knobs feel really solid and have this very hefty click to them. I'm a huge fan of the design of the air vents. So this is something Honda has been doing in their new generation of vehicles. So there's this honeycomb pattern covering the air vents. It's the same pattern that you'll find on the front grille. Other Honda vehicles with other patterns on the grille have the same corresponding pattern on its air vents inside. Connections inside the Civic Hatch EX-L also aren't all that generous. You get a USB-A and a 12 volt. That's it. The center console is made of this textured plastic material that somehow is able to repel fingerprints but also has a nice sheen to it. The transmission selector is completely covered in leather. Storage space is pretty good with a nice deep center console and a pretty decent sized glove box too. So now in the back at 6 feet tall, I have the driver's seat adjusted where I would have it to drive, and I have some room to spare. There's 37.4 inches of legroom. Down below, there's no charging ports or air vents, and on the rear door panel, you lose that piano black trim. But there is a nice soft center armrest with 2 cup holders. MSRP of this Honda Civic EX-L hatchback is $28,995. Big thank you to Route 23 Honda for letting me come out today to show you guys the Civic Hatch. They're located on Route 23 in Pompton Plains, so stop by if you're in North Jersey or the New York City metro area. Let me know your thoughts on the Civic down in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please share with a friend and subscribe. It'll really help the channel grow. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss any new videos. Let me know in the comments what vehicles you want to see on the channel next, and be sure to follow @OpticalAutomotive on TikTok and Instagram, and check out the page on Facebook. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys later.